Hello everyone, it's me, Jessica, the Health Fitness Program Manager from Miter McLean, and I'm here with you today for your awesome mind-body connection. We're gonna start in 5 minutes. I'm gonna give you a heads up that my dog's been a little sick today. Hoping we can make it through this class okay. Yay! Good times, work from home. So we're gonna get started on our floor, or your floor, or the floor, in Sukhasana Easy Pose. Gonna do a little mobility work to start off with, just really gently warming up our bodies. Hopefully we'll have some time to do a couple standing, slightly more active postures towards the end. Put on some beautiful music, light some incense, do whatever makes you feel good, and I'll see you on your mat. Oopsies. Oh my gosh, such a mess. Just moving some things around. Okay, so we've got 1 amazing minute before we get started. Gonna grab some high quality H2O and I'll meet you on the floor. What a day! I'm sorry you're not feeling well, little dude. Please don't get on the bed during class though, okay? Please. Well, hey everybody. Welcome to class today. Starting off in easy pose, so I just went ahead and placed a cushion under my seat just to completely relax a little bit, trying to create some like slides down your thighs so that your knees can gently point down towards the floor. And you can feel free to cross whichever leg over in front that feels right for you. Just taking a moment, maybe you need to Shaking out a little right and left to start to ground your sit bones into the floor, to start to come into your seat, to come into your day, clearing your mind, to begin your physical and mental practice, really working to connect the mind and the body as much as we can. So as you start to come into your breath, feel free to close your eyes, find one spot to focus your eyes, to relax your mind as you relax and release your breath. Notice if you have your chin totally tucked towards your chest, or maybe you generally bring your chin up away from my chest. I know that personally, as a desk person a lot, I find myself in this like awkward position and my shoulders are so tired and the extra strain that it puts on your neck. So, just start to come into yourself in your daily life and notice what sorts of modifications to just our normal alignment that you might find yourself in. My shoulders tend to creep up as beautiful earrings. It's a constant reminder for me to come back into proper form, and that's part of the reason that this yoga or mind-body connection can just be so beneficial, to truly just notice yourself, notice some things that you might want to work on. And always a reminder, if you find something that just really isn't feeling good, reach out to anyone on the team. So many amazing health fitness specialists available to you guys with so many different certifications and specialties. So, all right, so here we are. Just breathing. You can have your hands down on your thighs if that's helping you to keep that chest lifted and open and start to engage your back and belly. If you want, you can always turn your hands palms over, come into one of the many mudras that we talked about, just connecting your fingers with each other, with your breath. We'll take about 5 more focused breaths right here. Inhaling in through your nose, taking a moment with those lungs full at the top. Exhaling out through your nose if you can. Working to make these breaths as long, slow, deep, and also quiet as possible. Maybe practicing a little ujjayi breathing, pushing your tongue up on the roof of the mouth and finding a gentle constriction on the back of your throat, creating a very mild snoring sensation. Last 2 breaths. Great. Keep up this nice, slow, focused breath. On your next inhale, intentionally lift your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Try not to create an overarching in your back. Just as gentle of a stretch as feels good for you. And on your exhale, relaxing and releasing your chin back towards your chest. Taking your time. Inhale up. So the length of your breath might not be quite as long as mine. Maybe it's longer, maybe it's shorter. Exhale down. Maybe you're barely even lifting your chin to find this stretch, just depending on what feels good for you today. 3 more. Inhale up. Engagement of that abdominal core, really releasing shoulders from ears. Exhale down. So don't look up so much that you find that you have to draw those shoulders up with your ears as you look up, creating some length already. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then just returning to neutral. From here, we're just going to take some gentle twists with our neck to begin with. So inhale as you look over to the right as much as feels comfortable. Trying not to move the rest of our bodies, just finding the stretch in our neck. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right or center. Inhale right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. One more in each direction. Inhale right. Exhale center. So grounding, sit bones, belly tight. Inhale left. Exhale, center. Awesome. Next, we're going to bring that ear towards our shoulder. So take a deep inhale, dropping your right ear towards your shoulder. Still working to gently open your chest, squeeze shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, back up to center. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, back up to center. Remember, we're only finding the movement that we can to really find the stretch in our neck, maybe a little bit coming into your shoulder, finding that stillness of your lower half though. Two more each side. Sometimes something just as simple as these little mobility stretches feels so good, but do you do them every day? Last one. Awesome. Let's take a moment and just stretch our ocular nerve as well. So eyes stay, or face stays forward. Stretch your eyes up towards the ceiling. Forward, eyes down towards the floor. Forward, two more. Eyes up. Center. Eyes down. Center. Last one. Look up. Center. Down. Now let's go right and left. Look to the right. Look to the middle. Look to the left. Back to center. Two more. If you don't normally do any sort of ocular stretching, you might notice this really creates some tired feelings. Last one, each side in those eyes pretty quickly. Exhale, left, look, back to center. Great, feel free to just take a moment here. Relax and release a little bit. Find that little shimmy shake, maybe some individual shoulder circles, maybe some double shoulder circles. Just working to take any tension that might have built up out of your body. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a twist right here. I'm gonna remove myself from my cushion, but you're welcome to stay lifted if that feels good for you. I want you to stack your ears over your shoulders, head over your heart. We're gonna bring our right hand somewhere behind our right thigh, maybe by the base of your spine, or maybe just tap down on the mat next to you, and your left hand fingertips are gonna walk towards your right thigh. Find a little bit of pressure of your fingers on the floor against your thigh. Open your shoulders, open your chest, pull your belly in, and once you have this engagement and your lift, use your exhale to gently turn and twist over your right shoulder. But make sure you really take the time to set yourself up for success, to find that really big lifted length, and keep that lifted length, only coming into as much of a twist as you can still stay lifted, chest open, belly engaged. Let's take two more breaths right here. Remember, you can close your eyes. If your eyes are open, find one spot to focus your eyes. And slowly, gently release back to center. Bring that left hand behind you as a nice stable base. Pull your belly in, ground your sit bones, and start to walk your right hand fingertips over towards that left thigh. Don't twist yet. Find that pressure. Pull your belly in, sit bones grounded. Chest is open, shoulder blades engaged. Stretch up through the crown of your head with that nice neutral chin like you're holding a grapefruit. And use your exhale to gently twist over to the left. And remember, every day is different. Each side of our body is different. What you do on one side, you might not be able to do quite as deep on the other. Things might look very different today than they did yesterday, and they might look even more different tomorrow, and just enjoy going with that flow. That's all you can do. Yoga practice, not yoga perfect. One more deep inhale. Exhale yourself slowly back to center. Great, we're gonna keep those bellies in, keep your sit bones down. We got a forward fold coming up, so you can allow your chin to come towards your chest. Find as much rounding on your back as feels good for you. Coming into this nice and passively. As long as your sit bones are down, you can still work to stretch those fingers as far forward, finding some activation in your shoulders, maybe even tenting your hands and placing the pads of your fingers on the floor instead of a nice flat palm. Just make sure your sit bones are still in contact with the mat, that you didn't come
so far forward that you lifted yourself up here. Coming back to the focus on your breath, on your stillness. Notice if your shoulders came all the way up to your ears. Mine did. Can you find a little bit of length even right here, stretching through the crown of your head? Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, start to walk your hands over to the right as much as you can, finding a stretch throughout the left side of your body. Make sure you're really actively stretching through that left glute, maybe even intentionally stretching your left knee down towards the mat a little bit more. You can push through your hands' palms. You can place one hand on top of the other to really create as long of a stretch as you can, not just from your hip to your shoulder, but can you bring from your shoulder through to your left hand fingertips into the stretch? One more deep inhale. On your exhale, walk yourself back to center. Feel free to take a moment, pausing here, resetting, regrounding, and as you're ready, using your breath to come all the way over to the left. Hands towards the left, grounding your right sit bone down towards the mat. You can even pull your right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Find some length, shoulders away from your ears, belly pulled in. Anytime you hinge forward, sucking that stomach in to protect your back. One more deep inhale. On your exhale, walk your hands back to center. Take your time. Hands come back in towards your shins. Lift yourself up. Bring your fingertips right by your hips and kick those legs out in front of you. Taking a moment right here in staff pose. Depending on how tight your body is, being lifted up on this cushion can help relieve some of the stress along the back of your legs. If you're not on a cushion and you don't have one or don't want to grab one, take a slight little bend of your knees and flex those toes back towards your face a little bit more. If not, if you can work with your breath to simply relax those legs down, maybe even bring your heels, toes to touch each other. See how much of your palms or just the pads of the fingers you can get into the floor and take out this rounding. So open your shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. Chin neutral to your chest. 2 more breaths here in your active lift. And then we're going to hinge forward. I want you to not round your back on your way down. So feel free, if you did not already, to bring a bend to your knees and start to walk your belly towards your thighs. Belly towards your thighs, and once your belly is touching on your thighs, you can either start to kick those legs out, but if your belly comes away from your thighs, keep them there. Another option to find a little bit more straight legs is to move your butt cheeks back. One butt cheek at a time. Just wiggle things a little further back on towards your mat. So keep your chin away from your chest right now, looking forward towards your toes to keep that extra rounding out of your lower back. If you need to, you can even reach back one more time. Actively move your beautiful butt meat out of the way. Find a place to just relax your hands, maybe down on the floor next to you. Having your hands on the floor or the knees can help to really eliminate these shoulder earrings that I know I can't be the only one who tends to create. Big stretch here in the beginning. I know, you're worth it. Can you flex those toes back to your face? Feel it even more along the back of your legs. One more deep inhale. Exhale, start to walk yourself back up. And as you come up, draw those heels in, coming into a little butterfly. Awesome. Take your hands. We're going to interlace our fingers right by our pinky toes to create a nice little bowl of our feet. So my heels and my pinky toes are touching. I'm not really working to squeeze my legs, feet together or the soles of my feet, because I want to focus on starting to allow my knees to come heavy towards the floor. If your knees are all the way up towards the ceiling, you can feel free to apply a little bit of pressure from your elbows. And if they don't come down as low as me, that's totally okay. If you do still feel like you have some flexibility right here, tuck your chin towards your chest, look towards the center line of your body. You can even bring your elbows in front of your legs as you work to bring your head into this beautiful bowl you created. If you want to, you can bring the stretch back to your shoulders if you don't need to have your grip on your feet, if you're a little bit more flexible to walk those hands forward. Keep those sit bones still down on the floor just like we did before. So don't walk yourself forward so much that your sit bones lift up. Notice if you're wearing those shoulders as earrings, can you take away those shoulders earrings? It's normal if you're getting your head all the way towards your feet. You might start to feel a little bit of cramping in your belly. Hang out in whatever forward fold butterfly feels good for you. Just a couple more breaths. Go ahead, start to walk those hands back towards the center line of your body. We're going to keep our left leg folded in, and you're going to kick your right leg out cornerwise. And even kind of just like find some little twists. Shake it out. Shake it out just a little bit. Find a motion that feels good. All right, here we are in half dragonfly. You can bring that left heel as close towards the center line of your body as you want. Maybe you bring your left foot towards your right thigh bicep. You can have your hands by your hips right here to open your shoulders and your chest. You can relax your hands in front of you if this lift is a little bit easier for you. Work to flex your right toes back towards your face to bring that stretch back towards your legs. We're going to inhale our arms up overhead. Interlace those fingers. Go ahead, turn your hands, palms up towards the ceiling. Sit bones towards the floor. Find a little bit extra lift and stretch. Notice if the lift just came from shoulders lifting. Find the lift from your waist. So relax and release your shoulders away from your ears, seating shoulder blades around your spine. Invert your hands, palms. Turn over towards the right. Use your exhale to hinge forward. Maybe you can grab hold of your foot. Maybe it seems really far away. You can always not interlace your fingers and just relax your hand down towards the floor. Once again, don't let that left sit bone come down. So if you need to bring your hands all the way in towards the center line of your body to find the support that works best for you, that's fine. Maybe even from there, you can start to walk your hands out. Flexibility comes with time, with your practice. Sometimes the most frustrating part about our yoga practice is that every day our bodies are so different. So maybe on Monday you can get your forehead all the way towards your knee. And maybe on Tuesday you can barely turn towards that side. And then on Wednesday something opens up again and you're right back into it. Great. Go ahead and walk your hands back in. Next up, we're going to go for shoelace. We tried this one reclined the other day. So bringing your weight into your left thigh, we're going to drag that right leg all the way over. Once your thigh has crossed over your knee, go ahead and sit your butt back down and then bend your right leg. You're just working to stack one knee on top of the other. You can bring your fingertips towards the floor by your hips and reposition yourself right here in your shoelace, also known as cow face. We're just not going to bring that upper body stretch in today. We're going to focus on this stretch happening in our legs. Come back onto those sit bones. Feel free if you want to wiggle those ankles, those toes closer back towards the center line, and notice if you're really overarching your body. So find that engagement of your abdominal cord, knit that rib cage together. Don't let it flare out. take 2 more breaths. And then we're gonna bring that left leg forward again. So wiggling your left toes forward so that your left shin is parallel to the mat. You're gonna again shift over onto your right glute. Wiggle that right foot in a little bit more as we come into double pigeon / fire logs. So you don't want to have your foot directly on top of your thigh. You want to make sure that there's some room on other side. Bam, that if I cut your feet off at your ankles, then there would be nothing hanging off. But for now, definitely some stuff hanging off. If it's uncomfortable for you to get that shin parallel to the mat, that's okay. You can always have it in a little bit deeper. And if your hip flexors are really tight, you might find that your deepest posture looks just like this. But if you can release that right leg down, you can work to gently relax that right knee closer towards that left inner sole of your foot / ankle. Once again, knit that rib cage together. Nice abdominal engagement while still opening shoulders and chest. Feels so good. Feels so good. Right now I'm gently drawing my elbows back a little bit. Still working to find that engagement of my core. Just creating as big of a total body stretch as feels good. One more deep inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands back by your hips. Go ahead, kick both legs out in front of you. Take your time. Once they get there, bob your knees up and down. Windshield wipe your feet. Feel free to put some pressure into your hands, palms even. Finding a little manipulation of your upper body into those abs, your obliques. And let's go ahead and get the other side. So walk your hands back in. Go ahead, kick your left leg out corner-wise. Fold your right leg in, sole of the right foot can come close towards your left thigh, or maybe it's at the center line, or maybe you have things all the way out, or maybe things are a lot more in front for you. Just finding your stretch for today. Get both of those sit bones ground down towards the floor and start to flex your left toes back towards your face. Knit that rib cage together, abdominal engagement. Just to take that extra arching and round, pardon me, out of your back. All right, chin neutral towards your chest, belly tight. Get ready to lift your arms up on your inhale. Interlace your fingers, and once you have them, once again, turn those interlaced fingers up towards the ceiling. Find that big stretch. Within this big stretch, reground your sit bones, pull your belly in tight, and find the length from your waist. Eliminate shoulders creeping up towards your ears. Turn your hands, palms back towards your head. Turn towards your left foot, belly pulled in tight. Hinge forward. You can come down with as much rounding as you want to for this one. If you can grab hold of your foot, great. If you can't grab hold of your foot, remember you can always release your hands and just bring those hands towards the floor. Find that right sit bone back down towards the mat. Did you hinge forward so much that your right sit bone lifted? One more deep inhale. On your exhale, walk yourself back up to center. Start to shift the weight into your right thigh. So we can take that left leg through the beach sand, all the way over. Right leg is underneath of the left as best that you can. Wiggle that foot a little closer. The closer it is, I think, the easier. And then work to release your left butt cheek back down. Once again, think about bringing your hands by your hips. You can lift yourself up. You can reposition yourself as much as you need. You can use your hands on your shins by your ankles to reposition you. Open, lift your chest, engage your back, and then knit that rib cage back together. If the idea of knitting your rib cage back together, which I've mentioned like 12,000 times today, is confusing to you, let me know. We'll talk about it together next time. All right, so left sit bone sitting back down, finding this stretch that feels good. The more that you really bring your heels, your ankles back back towards your hips, the deeper you're going to feel the stretch, especially through your upper leg. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, remember you can come over onto your right glute a little bit more. Walk that left foot in. Walk your right foot up so that your shin is as parallel to the top of the mat as feels good for you. Release that left leg back down, coming into our double pigeon / fire logs. Work to flex your toes in towards each other. Take that pointing out of your toes. A little extra engagement. Even if you're all the way up here, you can still work to find that flexion in your feet. Ground yourself back down towards the mat. Think about seating that left sit bone as best as you can. Last 2 breaths right here. Great. As you're ready, bring your hands behind you. Take your time uncrossing your legs. Once more, kick those legs out in front of you. As generous of a bend in your knees as you want. Windshield wipe your feet. You can even put the soles of your feet on the floor and windshield wipe from right here. Now, whenever you're ready, let's come on into tabletop. We got some cat-cow to do. Gonna do a little bit of heart opening. Oh my gosh, I just got a cowbell and someone sent me the best meme. It's Christopher Walken and it says, "Your heart chakra needs more cowbell." Great. All right, so we're just going to cat-cow out from right here. And always finding the movement that feels good for you in cat-cow. I've been doing a lot of ab work for funsies with some friends on Zoom after work. So my obliques are on fire. So this little just like shimmy shake of my glutes from side to side is helping me. Depending on where your tension is, maybe you want to bring your hips a little closer towards your heels, press your hands into the floor, find a nice stretch of your mid and lower back. If you have some areas of your shoulders that need a little extra stretch, go ahead, bring the weight forward while you're here in cat, shoulders coming towards or in front of fingertips with chin tucked towards your chest, and create nice, deep stretch throughout that upper back. All right, and then we're going to go for some fixed firm pose. So you can open your knees a little bit wider if you need to. Open your knees, open your feet. So you can start to bring your hips back, walk your hands back with you. You want your toes to continue to point to the wall behind you, but you're working to get your seat between your feet. The most important thing is that your knees stay down on the mat. If you're having trouble getting your seat to your feet, keep your hands in front of you and apply a little bit of pressure of your hands palms. You can have your knees as close or as far apart as feels good, but make sure that those toes are still pointing behind you. You don't want to have a 90-degree angle of frog feet right here. And depending on what you do for fun outside of work, if you were a runner or are a runner, it's very normal to have a lot of scar tissue and discomfort in your ankles, so you might not be able to come all the way into fixed firm. Let me move forward, I don't have space for myself. If you do have your seat between your feet, you can bring your hands to your feet, thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside, and slowly lower yourself down one elbow at a time, and feel free to stop at any of these points as long as your knees are still down on the top of the floor. Placing the top of your head on the mat and bringing your shoulders down towards the mat, creating a beautiful arch. Glutes still on the floor, knees still on the floor. If you want to, you can bring your arms up overhead, grab hold of your opposite elbow, or maybe you are still in a modified child's pose. Here at the end, for a little deeper stretch, you can work to gently bring those knees a little bit closer together. Take 2 more breaths. came all the way back, we're gonna bring our hands back towards your feet. Use your elbows to come back to the top of your head, and then gently press yourself up, one elbow at a time. Let's come towards the back of our mats now. We're gonna do some half tortoise. So kneeling position, knees together, feet together. Go ahead, sit your hips down on top of your heels from right here. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. Pull your belly in and inhale your arms up overhead sideways. Palms together. Go ahead, just cross your thumbs. So working on a little bit of a palm grip here. Squeeze your knees together, pull your belly in tight. The more you squeeze your knees together, the easier it's going to be. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to slowly, gently hinge forward. Using that abdominal strength, taking your time right here. It's okay if your hips lift a little off of your heels. You're working to try to bring your forehead down towards the floor before your fingers. But if your fingers touch before your forehead, that's okay. And then start to walk those hands forward as you stretch your hips back towards your heels. Can you resist the urge of allowing your forearms to relax down on the mat? Go ahead, squeeze those hands, palms together again. Eliminate any room for light or air between your hands, palms, and lift your wrists up. So only the knife edge of your baby pinky finger is touching the mat. Stretch through your fingers on your inhale. Stretch your hips back towards your heels on your exhale. Take one more big breath here. Squeeze your knees together, belly tight. Lift your hands up off the floor and slowly lift yourself all the way up. Fingers stretch up towards the ceiling. Head stacks over heart, belly tight. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, relax your arms down by your side. We're going to press ourselves up onto our knees. And come on into camel. So open your knees about 6 inches between your feet. We're going to bring our hands to our lower backs. So your hands, palms are just right underneath of your ribs. I like to think about sticking my hands into my nice, super high-waisted 1980s mom jeans. I think that's like a very solid visual, just to make sure that you don't have your hands all the way down in your butt. You're working to bring your hands to your most tender spot of your back. And then you're going to squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward. Now, as we come into camel, you want to keep your hips right on top of your knees. This is not about coming back so that your glutes come towards your heels. So maybe your entire camel today is just squeezing your elbows together, squeezing your glutes, pressing your pubic mound forward. Stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling and start to look back for the wall behind you. As you look back for the wall behind you, if you notice yourself leaning back, come back up to just a nice big lift right here, belly engaged. But if you can find some manipulation in your upper back, in your spine for a nice deep backward bend, go back. Halfway, still squeezing glutes, pushing hips forward. If you can see the wall behind you, you can reach down for your feet. I can't quite grab mine today. If you do have your feet, get a full palms grip of your feet. Maybe just keep your hands on your back. Even if you're just stretching your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Even if you can't get any stretch of your chin, if you're just stretching your eyes up towards the ceiling. If you brought your hands to your feet, bring your hands back to your lower back. Go ahead, gently lift yourself up, sit your hips down on your heels. Take a moment grounding yourself right here. Bring those knees together. Bring your heels, toes together. Following up that nice big backward bend with our deepest forward bend, you're going to reach back to grab hold of your heels. I have trouble grabbing hold of my heels at the beginning, so don't be surprised if you do too. Right now, I just have my hands on my butt. I'm going to tuck my chin towards my chest, look at my belly button, pull my belly in nice and tight, and as I round forward, it's easier for me to start to tickle the arches of my feet. You're going to bring your head down, forehead comes onto your thighs or as close towards your thighs as you can, and once you have your head on the floor, you're going to use your breath and exhale, lift your hips up off of your heels. Keep pulling that belly in tight, pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Don't turn or twist your head in this posture. So you're staring at your knees, your mouth is closed, your eyes are open.
You're enjoying that beautiful yoga breathing. Can you squeeze your heels back together? From the side, you're working to look like two wheels in one base. Go ahead, take one more nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly bringing your hips back towards your heels.
Ooh, I got a real big cramp right there, just like from butterfly. Awesome. Let's come on into Sphinx pose right now. So just start to walk those hands forward. We're gonna take a moment, if you want to, in child's pose, lifting those hips up away from your heels, a little modified melting hearts pose as you walk your legs back one at a time, bringing your belly down towards the mat, and we find ourselves in Sphinx with our elbows underneath of our shoulders. Feel free to walk those feet out about mat's width distance apart, top of the feet down towards the mat. Take some stretches here with your neck. Tuck your chin to your chest. Lift your eyes up towards the ceiling. Chin to chest. Eyes up towards the ceiling. Good job. One more in each direction. Beautiful. Let's take a moment and seal. A little deeper of a stretch on your lower back. If you're having any lower back issues, you can already release yourself down towards the mat. Place your forehead on the floor. If you're ready for a little bit more, palms flat down on the floor. Press into your hands, palms. Straighten those elbows out. Keeping that pubic mound, even belly button down towards the mat. Just a really big stretch on your lower back. Let's keep adjusting our lower back right now. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Seat them around your spine. Stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bend those elbows back down towards the mat. We'll meet everyone who might have already been here with their head on their beautiful pillow. Bend your knees, windshield wipe your feet right and left, right and left. Yay! All right, let's take a moment and press yourself up into a plank. So get your hands, palms in line with your chest. Tuck your toes under. Press into your hands, palms. Take a moment right here in a nice wide hand plank. Belly nice and tight, a long line. Hips stacked right on top of your heels. One more deep inhale. Exhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling. One moment here in down dog, spiraling your inner thighs towards the wall behind you. Bend one knee and then the other as you walk the dog. And then walk your hands all the way up towards your feet. Take that generous bend of your knees. While you're here, heel toe those feet closer together. Bring the weight back in your heels. Take a deep inhale. We're going to lift our arms up towards the ceiling. Chair pose. Weight in your heels. Belly pulled in nice and tight. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest and turn and twist. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Press those hands together. Make sure the weight is still in your heels. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. If you want an extra twist, turn your chin towards your right shoulder. One more deep inhale. Exhale, come on back to center. Hands stay at your heart. Weight comes back to your heels. Deep inhale. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Work to really stack those hands, palms together. Stack one elbow on top of the other. Stack one shoulder on top of the other. Weight back into your heels. As generous of a bend in your knees as you can. Turn your chin towards your left shoulder. One more deep inhale. Exhale, back to center. Release your hands down towards the mat, and this time heel toe your feet out nice and wide, mat's width distance apart, or maybe more. We're going to start to walk the weight forward a little bit more. So this time you are bringing some weight into your toes to get that big stretch on the outside of your legs. You want to make sure that your hips are starting to stack on top of your heels as opposed to having your hands really close towards your feet, which sends your hips more towards the back of the room. So hips stacked right on top of heels. Walk your left hand towards the center and stretch that right arm up towards the ceiling. Pull shoulders away from your ears, mini bind. So bend your right elbow, reach your right hand fingertips towards that left hip crease. Try not to shift the weight too much into your right foot.
Take one more deep inhale and release your bind. Right elbow up towards the ceiling, right hand down towards the floor. Switch, inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. Still bringing the weight forward to your toes, maybe even walking those hands palms a little bit more forward. Option for your mini bind, bending that left elbow, placing your left hand fingertips by your right hip crease, and then stretching that elbow up towards the ceiling, creating a little bit more of a twist, pulling that belly in nice and tight once more. Release your bind, left elbow up towards the ceiling. Release your left hand down. We're gonna do a squat today, you guys. We're gonna do a big hip opener. So I want you to turn those toes out just a little bit. Keep the weight in your heels. We're gonna prep for our squat by just bending your knees. Hips come down towards the floor. Exhale, hips go up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Last one, we're going to come down here and stay here. All right, feel free as we come down here to maybe shift the weight a little bit. Left foot, right foot, especially if you're super tight to come into this. You can even start to bring your elbows towards the inside of your thighs. If you need to, keep your hands down on the floor right here. Just gonna wiggle myself forward so you can see what I'm doing. Great. All right, so you can either keep your hands down on the floor in front of you and apply a little bit of pressure into your hands palms. If you can, work those heels back towards the floor. It's okay if they don't both come down towards the floor. Let's practice. Bring your hands palms to the center of your chest and come into your stillness for today, pulling those shoulders away from your ears. Finding that one spot, focusing your eyes on the floor in front of you, thinking about using your elbows to really open those hips up. Having the 45-degree angle with your feet is just going to help you to work those heels down towards the floor. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Bring your hands back down towards the mat. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Once more, heel toe your feet back in towards each other. Bend one knee and then the other. If you can't get your hands to the floor, grab hold of your opposite elbow. A little rocking of the baby if you need to, or just a little Padasana, hands to feet pose, your choice. Take that generous bend of your knees. Go ahead, bring your knees back down towards the mat. Cross your ankles over. Go ahead and walk your hands back. Sit down on your bum. Kick your legs out in front of you. Take your time to slowly lay down. Open your arms, open your legs as wide as you want. Find as much support as you can from your mat on the floor below you as we come into our final Savasana. Spending at least 2 minutes right here in your final Savasana, but ask yourself, do you have 5 minutes? Do you have 7 minutes? Can you stay here for 10 slow breaths? If class ends and you're always like, I'm out of here, take a little extra time in this stillness right now, because this is really where the yoga happens, when we're down here on the floor, and also when we're away from our mats, of being able to relax and stay calm in situations you might not necessarily want to be in. How do you react to those situations? Can you take a moment, focus on your breath, and come back to your mindfulness and stillness and react from there? Oh, I meant to fly like a bird with you guys today, but I think I forgot. Next time. Okay, if you're like me and you have some other fun things that you need to do and see, it's time for us to get up. But as always, if you can stay in this Savasana, stay in this Savasana as long as you absolutely can. Either drawing your knees in towards your chest and taking your time to rock yourself up like a ball, or maybe rolling over onto your side and using your upper arm to press yourself up off of your mat. Let's come to a seated position. If we're closing our class together, take a moment back to Namaskar. Hands, palms come to the center of your chest. Tuck your chin to your chest and take this moment to truly honor yourself. What are you thankful for right now? Actively think about that. I'm so thankful that you guys came to share your time and your energy, not just with me, but with each other. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we said or did today, please reach out. As always, continue to speak good words, think good thoughts, do good deeds, eat good foods, nourish yourself from the inside and out so you can pour from your amazing cup onto those around you. I can't wait to see you guys all again soon. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.